now you got Boots Ennis who's in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
The eye test tells it all. You know, he's got the it, you know.
Man, great. Bud always been like that. Without a question, solid. You know what I'm saying? Solid.
You think there's anything left for him, Coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight going
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. Hey, Blake Islam, he looked at excellent.
Is there anybody?
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, Coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights to undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jaron Ennis going to 160, possibly Jaron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying, and the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
Stay away from it. And by the way, there's this brother coming up, Molly. His name is Boots Ennis. This brother's special. You don't want to go in the ring against after that beating. Molly, it was so bad. I swear to y'all, I am not exaggerating. Yeah. You know how I got called.
Terence "Bud" Crawford has done it again, shocking the boxing world. After his biggest victory ever, defeating Canelo Alvarez and becoming the first fighter to hold undisputed titles in 3 weight classes, Crawford jumped on a live interview and finally said what fans have been waiting for.
Everything you said about fighting not being there spiritually, mentally, you think that might have affected Canelo, or that was just a skill difference was too wide?
You know, I do think he was a little mentally tired. He's been at that level for a long time. Right. So 11 fights in 4 years. That's a lot.
Timing was perfect for Crawford.
Yeah.
He said it himself at the press conference. He said timing was everything. Perfect timing, everything.
That's right.
His whole career was on timing.
He was mentally tired, but you got to give Crawford his credit, man. To keep your mind that mentally fresh and sharp and go out there and perform like that, that's a win itself. Mm-hmm. Not even just beating your opponent. For your mind to be that fresh, come fight next.
It's a reason.
How are you feeling to be Chris Eubank's trainer, first of all?
It feels good, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been his trainer before, so.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a no-brainer.
Of course. Congratulations on the win. What's your first reactions to Crawford's victory? One of the greats of this era, right?
Oh, definitely that. You know that.
What do you want to see him do now?
What I want to do now?
What do you want to see Crawford do next?
Do what he at this point now in his career where he could do whatever he wanted to do.
Who would you like to see him fight? Any names? Is there any names in particular you'd like to see?
It doesn't matter.
What about Canelo? Would you like to see him retire?
I don't. Canelo's not my responsibility.
Okay.
He's ready to face Jaron Boots Ennis. Yes, the fighter most avoided in boxing, one of the most dangerous young champions out there. And now, the man already called the GOAT is lining up Boots as his next challenge. This fight could mark a changing of the guard, or it could prove once and for all that Crawford is truly untouchable. Let's break it down. Crawford didn't just beat Canelo Alvarez, he flipped boxing upside down. Before the fight, many doubted him. Could someone who built his name at 135, 140, and 147 really handle a natural 168-pounder like Canelo?
Should Bud go to 160? I think Bud should do what he want to do. Are you going to the Crawford parade on Saturday? I believe I am going. Yes, I believe that I am going. I have to look at my schedule and stuff.
But Crawford didn't just make it through. He took control. He outboxed, outsmarted, and outclassed Canelo for 12 rounds, leaving no doubt with a clear decision win.
Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah?
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round, so.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. Mm-hmm. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great, but he definitely one of the greatest of all time for sure.
that victory didn't just earn him Canelo's belts. It sealed his spot as the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the sport. No arguments, no excuses, Crawford is on top.
I thought Terence fought a virtuoso fight. Terence never let Canelo get into a rhythm. Terence never allowed Canelo to get anything going, and I didn't think he could do it for 12 rounds. I thought that the first 3 or 4 rounds were going to be difficult for Canelo for that reason, but Terence was able to do it for 12 rounds, and in the later part of the fight, he kind of pushed the fight more than I think people expected, which is the mark of a superstar, man.
After that win, the question wasn't if he's great. The question became, is he the greatest ever? But greatness always puts a target on your back.
Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great he is.
Jaron Boots Ennis has had his eyes on Crawford for years. Unbeaten. 34 wins, 30 knockouts. A fighter so avoided at welterweight that others openly admitted they didn't want the challenge. Boots is fast, powerful, explosive, and only 27, right in his prime.
A lot of people compare Ennis with Crawford, but Ennis always says he's got a completely different style, and the only similarity is they both switch. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree with that. Me personally, I think that Terence Crawford boxes a hell of a lot more in the moment, phenomenal fighter in the moment. And I think Ennis is a lot more of a chess player.
Fans have always wondered what would happen if Crawford, the master technician, went against Boots, the hungry young lion. And now, it's no longer just a dream. Crawford himself has said yes.
What about the Terence Bud Crawford fight? I'm tired of answering questions about it. He already said millions of times that he not fighting me or looking my way, so I'm just tired of answering them questions, you know. And if a fight happened, it happened. You know, I wanted it to happen, but if not, yeah.
In a live interview after the Canelo fight, Crawford didn't dodge the question. When asked about Boots, he said he's open to it. The boxing world exploded. Because Crawford doesn't need to take this fight. He could retire right now, 42-0, undefeated, and walk away a legend. Instead, he's talking about Boots, the guy most fighters won't even mention.
That's the fight that everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Do you respect him as, like, when he's like, I got a couple fights left, I'm at the end, I'm only trying to get mega fights, so...
I understand it, but don't lie or kept to the net and make it seem like I had the opportunity to fight you and I didn't. I never did. You know what I'm saying? And then that one time that I did, we said they called and we said we never heard nothing else back about it. So I mean, I respect it though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't be capping on the net, acting like this, acting like that.
That's why fans respect Crawford. He doesn't just take big fights. He takes the ones people say he should avoid.
What do you like watching now?
Terence Crawford, one of my favorites to watch now. I love Terence Crawford, and I like to watch NUA too. NUA can fight. And you know who else I like to watch though? I like to watch Boots.
Oh, okay.
Boots, I love watching Boots. Boots got game. People don't understand Boots got game. You know what I'm saying? Boots, every now and then he messes on defense a little bit, but Boots got game.
Boots versus Terence Crawford.
Now, Boots hasn't proven himself enough to tell me for me to say that he gonna beat Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford is a different kind of animal. Proven. You feel me? Proven stud. You understand where I'm coming from? But Boots, if anybody could be Bud.
So what weight does Crawford versus Ennis even happen at? Boots is the current WBA welterweight champ at 147. Crawford moved past that division. He's been at 154 and just stunned the world at 168. There's no way he's going back down to welterweight. Most likely, this fight happens at 154 or even 160. Boots can move up, and at 38, Crawford doesn't want to drain his body anymore.
I'm trying to tell you, 154, man, it's mine. 154 is mine, and they're gonna see, you know, and they're gonna see, you know, just stay tuned, and like I said, when I handle business October 11th, we're gonna see.
And that's where it gets interesting. At higher weights, Crawford slows down a little but stays technical. Boots is young, powerful, and still growing into his body. That's why this matchup is so dangerous. Here's a wild twist. Boots actually helped Canelo prepare for Crawford.
Hello, first things first. A lot has been made about your sparring session with Boots, with Boots Ennis. How did that happen? What happened?
I cannot say much, but he called us and say if he can go and sparring with me and everything. I say, of course, right? A fighter like me, we always want great sparrings because there is the thing, right? And I have history with the family because 14 years ago, his older brother helped me for Sugar Shane Motley and Alfonso Gomez. So it's Derek Ennis. So he helped me. So he was 14 years old at that time, by the way. And it was good, very good. And I'm very grateful with him because he made that time to go and give me a good work.
That's right. Boots sparred and worked with Team Canelo to get ready for Bud. He was part of the strategy to figure Crawford out.
Now it's here, Key. You ready?
Yeah, of course, baby. Yeah, man. You know, it's a fight you ain't gonna want to miss, man. One time, I told you the comeback 2025.
Keith, what do you think about Ennis joining Canelo for the Crawford camp?
Hey, good stuff.
You think that matters?
That's beautiful.
Anywhere.
That's beautiful, man. You know, when you. That's world class. That's, you know, I mean, it's the best switch hitter he can get. That's not his opponent, you know. His champions working with champions, you know. In the modern day and age, man, you don't get that a lot, you know. It reminds me back when I was supposed to fight Marcos Maidana, and I got Sean Porter for sparring.
Thank you, boss.
You know, so I like it.
But the twist is, Canelo still lost. Now think about it. Boots has camp experience preparing for Bud, and Bud already beat the guy Boots was helping.
He's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot, he's not me, you know, and I'm not him, so.
Yeah. Tim had said comparison that like he's like a Chrysler 300 and you're like a Bentley.
Yeah, like, once again, like, he's not me. You know, he's trying to get to where I'm at. You know, he's where he at, I'm where I'm at. You know, he got a long way to go.
For Boots, it's redemption. For Crawford, it's proving a point. You trained the man trying to beat me, and I still won. Now I'll beat you too. The boxing world is buzzing. Some experts like Max Kellerman say Crawford should keep going, that he can beat anyone at any weight. Others like Eddie Hearn say he should retire now, undefeated, and protect his legacy.
Should Crawford retire? Do you know what? Someone said the other day, and it's very true, because I actually said it about Usyk. We've got a real tendency, haven't we, to kind of try and retire people off. Do you know what I mean? Like I said with Usyk, I think now he should retire. And everyone's like, why do you want him to retire? It's like, I just think it's a great way to go out. I actually also think that Crawford could move down and win a world title at 160. And that would make him, what, 6 division champ? 5, 35, 40, 47, 54, 6 division champion. But the problem is Terence Crawford now is really only going to want to fight for big money. And there's only certain fights that can generate that kind of money. So Shakur, who's obviously very close to him, seemed to say, so maybe that's it.
Then there's Boots himself, pushing Crawford to fight. Experts argue Crawford has nothing left to prove, but fans want to see if the old master can handle the hungry new star. That's the beauty of boxing, when generations collide.
As his trainer, do you feel like he should just sell off into the sunset after this monumental
Well,
win?
You know what? He made it look so easy. You know what I'm saying? Got 2, 3 more in him. You know what I'm saying? Train camp will try harder. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think a move to 160 would make sense?
I mean, if you want to do it, you know, it'd be a challenge. If you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I don't mind.
So how would this fight look? Crawford is a genius switch hitter. He can fight orthodox or southpaw, studies opponents, breaks them down, and finishes strong.
Do you think Ennis is the guy to give Crawford like trouble in there if they were ever to fight?
I think that would be a great fight. You know, the young hungry lion versus the legend. That would be a hell of a fight. Maybe 160. if it's a vacant title at 160, I think that they can make that happen for sure. I think it just has to make sense for both parties. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think if there's a vacant belt, Crawford's gonna want to be 6th division champion, and then he'll make Ennis move up to 160. I think they could do it at 160.
Boots is explosive, unpredictable, and athletic. He throws from awkward angles, has knockout power in both hands, and is quick enough to close distance. Crawford's edge is his IQ, experience, and calmness. Boots' edge is youth, power, and hunger. This would be all action. But the big question, at 38, is Crawford too old? Most fighters by now are retired or faded.
Personally, I wouldn't be mad if I never see Terence fight again. The way he performed, getting ready to be 38, I think, in a few days. Man, what better way to go out? What better way to tell the game goodbye? What better way? Who you gonna fight? I was arguing with Max on the way to the venue about Boots Ennis. Nah, we don't go fight Canelo and then go back and fight Boots Ennis. I saw a report today, somebody was talking about him going up to light heavyweight. Nah, we don't go up to light heavyweight. We just went up 3 weight classes since the Spence fight and 2 weight classes since the Madrimov fight, my last fight. This is the perfect send-off, Roy.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Without a
It's
question.
the perfect send-off.
Crawford isn't like most fighters. He's sharp, disciplined, and just beat Canelo, the pound-for-pound king. Still, time catches everyone. If Boots is going to win, now is the moment. That's why fans are split. Some think Crawford will school him, others believe Boots will end his career. Make no mistake, if it happens, it's massive. The old guard versus the new. The undefeated legend against the hungry challenger. The man chasing GOAT status against the man chasing his first big legacy win. If Crawford wins, he's cemented as the greatest of his era. If Boots wins, he becomes the new face of boxing overnight. Either way, the sport wins. After beating Canelo, Crawford even hinted at retirement, saying he'd talk it over with his team. Eddie Hearn and others say he should retire perfect. But Crawford agreeing to Boots shows he still has fire and maybe wants one more generational fight before calling it a career. Some fans push for Crawford versus David Benavidez at 168, but Crawford's team already said no. For now, they want rest and only the right challenges.
You want to fight Canelo? Would you ever entertain a fight with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez? But you want Canelo. But you want Canelo.
You gotta understand, like.
But I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't, you know.
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. You know what I mean? His brother was big when I fought him. But, you know what I mean? Benavidez is a big dude. The only reason why I entertain Canelo is because he's not a big dude. Like, he might be thick, you know what I mean? But he's not a big dude. You know what I mean? Like, Benavidez is like 6 foot something. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude. Like, you know what I mean?
And he's skilled, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, like, because I thought that at one point when Volkanovski was champion, I had retired. You know, I had retired, and I was like, dude, the only fight that I would really want to come back for is to fight a dude. I'm 5'4". This dude's fucking 5'6", and he's pound for pound. Yeah. So it's like, I understand what you're looking at. You're like, you know what?
You just size him up.
Yeah.
You just size him up, especially when you going into a bigger weight class like that. You know what I mean? You size him up and you see, you know, your advantages and his advantages. You know, I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. You know, he might got the size, the power. You know, I feel like, you know, I got the better skills, boxing skills.
And honestly, Boots feels like the perfect next step. He's dangerous, fresh, and already connected to the Crawford-Canelo storyline. Analysts are already split. Some say Crawford will school Boots like he did Errol Spence, too smart, too sharp, too experienced. Others believe Boots is too powerful, too quick, and will eventually catch an aging Crawford. Even fans online are divided. Half want Crawford to cement his GOAT run by beating the next big star, while the other half think it's time for new blood. So here we are. Terence Crawford, fresh off beating Canelo Alvarez, now agreeing to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. It's the fight nobody thought he needed, but everyone wants.
Just feel that Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that could be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, you know, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, you know, that he's still very much in his...
If Crawford wins, his GOAT status is untouchable. If he loses, it marks the beginning of a new era with Boots. Either way, boxing fans win.
Just feel that Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, you know, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, you know, that he's still very much in his prime.
So what do you think? Should Crawford risk everything against Boots Ennis or retire now with a perfect 42-0 legacy? And if it happens at 154 or 160, who takes it? The older master or the young lion? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to Boxing Bloodline. See you in the next one.